Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me for 10 Minute Tuesday. This is Sekou Tyler, and today I got Priya on here. Priya, what's going on?
Nothing much, just busying as per usual. But how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking time out to join me today.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome, yeah. All right, so we've done this a number of times, 10 Minute Tuesday. So Priya, let's go ahead and hop into it. Can you introduce yourself?
Yep, so my name is Priya Padham, and I am a Tableau Public Ambassador and Tableau Visionary. And I also recently joined Expedia Group as a data visualization engineer, which I'm very excited about, and I'm really loving it so far. So, yeah, and I also love doing a lot of public speaking lately too. I just spoke at Tableau conference and it was amazing. It's my first time there, and I can't believe it happened, but really exciting. And yeah, I can't wait to do more.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. So juggling a lot of things, teaching, speaking, data viz, doing a number of things. But at a certain point, you had to get your start. So what really compelled you to get into data?
Yeah, so I didn't start in data. I actually studied computer science at university, but it didn't take me very long to realize it wasn't my passion and it wasn't what I actually wanted to do. And I actually graduated about 5 years ago now. And I just remember I felt very lost when I graduated. And it was a very scary time for me because I just remember feeling very anxious because I didn't know what I wanted to do next. But then, completely out of the blue, I got a phone call from a recruiter who told me all about a job involving Tableau, which I had never heard of at that point. But after that, I ran to my laptop, downloaded Tableau, and became obsessed instantly. And I fell in love with the tool. I wanted to learn everything about it. And I actually discovered the Tableau community from that moment as well. And from there, I honestly just kind of fell into place. And I just knew that that was what I wanted to pursue. And from there, that's where I got my first role in data at the data school, which is part of the information lab. And now, as I mentioned, I'm with Expedia Group, which is I'm just so happy that I found this career path.
Wow, that's incredible. It's so crazy the trajectory and like how stuff can find you and you didn't even know about it. But once you find it, it's like, full steam ahead. Like, let's go into it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So before you got into data, you were a computer science major, but you might have did some stuff like jobs in between. So to date, what has been your least favorite job that you had?
So I honestly haven't had many jobs before data, but I have to say any job that didn't involve data is my least favorite because it's just in comparison when I just think in my head the things I was doing back then and now what I'm doing and how much I'm enjoying it. I'm just so glad that I found this world that I didn't know about, like you said. And yeah, I'm just happy to be in this career that I'm in now.
Yeah. I actually have a similar thing as well where I did some jobs before I actually was full steam ahead in data. And I look back at that time and for me, it was more so getting me to a point to where I can appreciate what I do now because I look back and be like, oh, why was I doing that? Like, what was the point of me doing
Yeah.
that job? It's like not as fulfilling with what I do now. So that's incredible. All right, so we talk about the journey that you're on. So computer science, and then all the way to learning Tableau, Tableau Visionary, and then teaching and giving back. But along the ways, I'm sure you had some bumps and bruises. So, what has been your biggest quotation marks failure, and what did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, so when I think about my biggest failures, it all kind of boils down to something I've struggled a lot in with the past. Like, it's something that I've always kind of had trouble with and still kind of struggle with now, and that is believing in myself. And by that, I mean, because of that lack of self-belief, it made me miss opportunities in the past because I would think to myself, I could never do that. I would never be able to do that. What's the point in trying? So there are things I wish I did, but I didn't actually do because I held myself back. And now, ever since beginning this career in data and discovering Tableau and the community, at first I was still scared to just say yes to opportunities. And I remember in the beginning, I said no to a lot of things. But now I just say yes. And I try to welcome things that scare me. And I say yes before I can talk myself out of doing it. And I don't necessarily say yes now because I believe that I can do it. because I definitely still have that little, self-doubt in my head and that fear. But the more I say yes and the more things that I've been doing, it's almost proving to myself that I can actually do it now, even if it seems scary at first. So it's something I'm still working on, but I'm trying to change that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that ever goes away. Like I still do a million things that like scare the bleep out of me, like all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like I think I read a quote or I read something and it was like if you're doing something and it doesn't terrify you, then you should be doing something else. Or you should be
Hmm.
pushing yourself to another limit. And I think that that feeling that in your stomach that, all that, it's a good feeling to have.
That's so true. I completely agree. And you kind of have to chase it sometimes. And
Yeah.
then you feel better after you've done
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. It's like a exhilarating feeling, like yes, like I
Mhm.
conquered that, or I got over that hill, and no matter what it is, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be that of is, but whatever it is, that feeling of I did it, is so awesome,
Exactly. Yeah.
awesome. All right, so what's one lesson your job has taught you that you think everyone should learn at some point in their life?
Yeah, so I thought about this a lot, and I definitely think it's don't be afraid to ask questions. Because when I first started, I didn't ask enough questions. And that was because I was scared of looking stupid or like I didn't know anything. But honestly, when I look back now, I wish I asked those questions. And I wish I dug deeper into things and I wish I got the answers that I needed. Because by doing that, you learn so much more. And maybe you're in a group of people, you feel self-conscious to ask a question, maybe you're a bit hesitant, but chances are someone's probably thinking about that same question as well. Or even if they're not, it can strike up a conversation that benefits everyone and you're all learning as well. So I just always try and ask questions now. If not, I just always ask too many questions actually because it just it just really helped me to kind of get into the rhythm of things and kind of banish those thoughts and that mindset to be kind of too in my head about it. And it just helped me to become better and learn more as well. So if anyone out there feels the same way I did, don't be afraid and just ask.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll raise my hand on that one. I similar experience, like did not ask enough questions, internal ego of I got it, I'll figure it out, I don't need help. And it just, hurts you down the line when you're not asking enough. Like it's just ask the questions. It's okay.
It's so true. And just ask it straight away. If
Yeah.
something pops up, just ask, and then it saves you having to ask later down the line when they probably will say you should have asked this sooner.
Yeah. Got it. Got it. Okay. So outside of, asking questions, what is one piece of advice you'd give someone who's just starting out in their career?
So I would say never stop learning. So in terms of Tableau, if you haven't already, definitely build up that portfolio, take part in initiatives, build vizzes, build a lot of them. Just keep building vizzes and adding them to your profile. Keep them visible as well, because that's such a good way of improving quickly and learning as much as possible. And also getting feedback is really important to help with your learning and your growth overall as well. And you can do that by reaching out to people directly or through something like hashtag #BizOfficeHours, which is a community initiative as well. And also by building that portfolio, it will just set you up so well when you look for job opportunities because any potential employer can just scroll down the page, see how much you've grown over time, see what you're capable of doing now. And it's even better than a CV, in my opinion, because it's all there and they can see exactly what you can do. So highly encourage you to keep learning and practicing and have fun doing it.
Yeah, that's so great, and I do the same thing when like people come up to me, like mentees, or whoever, and like, what should I do? I'm like, just get your portfolio, learn the tool, learn the product, learn the software, get it out there, put yourself out there, and you learn more in the process of doing that. Um, and you have like a actual page where people can go visit and look at your work as well. The feedback piece was great. I didn't think about the feedback element, how important that is.
Yeah, definitely. It's helped me so much because I end up learning things that I didn't even think of because you're talking to people who have done it before, they know what to kind of look for, and they can point you in the right direction. And it saves you time as well trying to get there because they'll just point you to what you need to be doing. So I find it really helpful.
So Tableau portfolio question, because now my curiosity's kind of peaked with this one. So when you're creating a portfolio, like now that you're a visionary and still getting stuff out there, do you still have the perfectionist piece where I need to get it right before I release it? Or have you kind of eased up on that with some of your with stuff that you're releasing?
That's a really good question. I definitely still feel like it needs to be like pixel perfect in my eyes, or just like, yeah, I don't know. It's more about the design, I guess. I like things to be precise in that sense. So yeah, I will probably hold off on publishing something until I'm just like it feels right. But there comes a point where okay, I've spent too long on
Yeah.
this now. Just publish it. But it's kind of like at least 95%, and
Yeah.
then I can publish
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think that ever goes away. Like I think there's an element where it can be too much. You're in the weeds and you're like really like over analyzing it, but there is a
Yeah.
standard that you have when it comes to, releasing stuff. So I was just curious about that while I was on the
No, it's
topic.
so true.
Awesome. All right. So this was great. Priya, where can listeners find you at online?
So listeners can find me on Twitter and LinkedIn. So on Twitter, it's P_Padham. And on LinkedIn, it's my name. And always happy to have a chat and connect and talk all things data.
Awesome, awesome. And one day, every time, well, I'm trying to bug people. So one day we'll see you on YouTube giving tutorials and creating content. So I'll plant that seed now early on and get that
We'll
out there.
see.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Priya, for joining me today.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun. And yeah, I hope everyone has a lovely day.
Awesome. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And we will talk to you all next week. Y'all have a great day.